Today is George Washington's 292nd birthday. Here are 10 facts about the first American president. Our first fact, in no particular order, is that he is the only president to capture 100% of the electoral votes. Not just once, but also twice. He was the only one to capture it once as well, but also twice. When he ran for election in the 1788 to 89 election, no one was willing to run against Washington and ruin their reputation. So, Washington ran alone, and the same thing in 1792. So, obviously, everybody vote for him. When Washington was just 11 years old, his father passed away. And because of his father passing away, he inherited a couple of slaves. Yeah, Washington, that's not something to be proud of. Coming in at number three, when George Washington was just a little wee lad, he didn't go to school. He had no formal education, but somehow, some way, he is not the dumbest president. That just shows you that IQ kinda doesn't really mean anything. At number four, George Washington was sterile for most of his life. We're not entirely sure how and when, but the leading theory was that when he went with his brother to a Caribbean island to cure his tuberculosis, Washington caught tuberculosis and then I think chicken pox, which, medical treatment back then wasn't so great. Now, if someone gets chicken pox, they're obviously not going to get sterile, but back then, there was a really high chance you would. Washington probably got sterile off of that, and because of it, he didn't have any biological children, but when he married his wife, he had children through marriage. Our fifth fact, in no particular order, is Washington served from 1759 to the outbreak of the Revolutionary War, so basically 1776. George Washington served in the House of Burgess, managing the lands around his house at Mount Vernon in Virginia. Our sixth fact about George Washington is actually really, really sick. Washington was a killer dancer. I'm saying probably better than all of these pop stars you see today. Washington was top-notch dancer, which honestly is kind of impressive, and I'm very proud of him. Our seventh fact is George Washington had teeth made out of wood. Yeah, I'm just kidding. That is a misconception, along with the fact that he chopped down a cherry tree. Those did not happen. Washington's teeth were made out of a variety of things and not wood. And Washington likely never cut down a cherry tree. Have you ever actually read the Presidential Oath of Office? Well, at the end it says, "So help me God." Did you know that it wasn't actually part of the oath of office when George Washington was president? Yeah, when he was getting sworn in, he actually just added the words "So help me God" right after he said the oath of office. Ever since, "So help me God" has been part of the oath of office.
So help me God.
George Washington signed in Jay's Treaty, which essentially gave the United States and the United Kingdom, the country they just had fought a 7-year long war with, yeah, now they have free trade for 10 whole years. Free trade nowadays seems like a given, but back then it was actually kind of rare. I don't know if this is good or bad because on one hand, this is your enemy. Like, imagine the United States signing a free trade bill with Russia or China, which actually doesn't sound that too unrealistic. But on the other hand, free trade. So I'm kind of split down the middle on this one, actually. This one is going to blow your mind, no questions asked. George Washington in 1792 was made an honorary citizen of France. If you think I'm joking, look it up. I I, I laughed, and I still do laugh when I think of that cuz that is freaking hilarious. Happy birthday, George Washington. I hope people in wherever you are right now are treating you well. George Washington, uh, I hope you like your honorary citizenship of France.